Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, The Fiend.
An update on WWE's plans for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Backlash.
We have an update on Kenny Omega's injury status ahead of Double or Nothing and Forbidden Door.
And Pat McAfee has reportedly had talks with Amazon about their NFL coverage. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And we should have brought the tiny football through.
And this is the news.
We have a little football that we throw around the office a little bit every now and then.
It never breaks anything if the bosses are watching.
Yeah, lunch break, it's fine. Right, The Fiend, right, Bray
Are
Wyatt.
you kidding me?
No,
the Friday news starts with the flipping Fiend.
Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, whatever you want to refer to him as. He's been doing some teases on the old ye olde Twitter. He's been on there. And the big question for me coming out of this is that, is he going to become the Techno Fiend?
What?
Is he going to become the Cyber Fiend? The Robo Fiend?
The Steampunk Fiend? Is that what that is? I don't know.
That's the Steampunk Flat FUCK. This is a disaster already.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
But right, look at this on your screen right now. Right, this is what Bray Wyatt's been teasing. Looks like a little picture of him from Death Stranding, like a little baby with a little tube coming out of his mouth and stuff.
There's eyes around him.
The eyes everywhere. He sees all. But basically, he did a bunch of teases last night on Twitter. The first one said, "I don't think it's true that he who makes a beast out of himself gets rid of the pain of being a man," quoting Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
They just tweeted, but.
Yeah, like a few seconds later.
Ass.
The word but. And then, but if you become the machine, you don't have to feel at all. #WhatIf? ? So, obviously, this has gotten a lot of people talking. About what's going on. Look, Wyndham Rotunda's a creative guy.
Yes.
He has a lot of ideas that he's going to throw out there, and mission accomplished in getting nerds like us talking about it here. But what do you reckon this means? Do you reckon he's just screwing around? Do you reckon he's teasing some kind of new character? Dave Meltzer did say earlier in the week that the reason maybe a potential reason why like AEW or someone like that hasn't scooped them up is because his asking price is quite high, which is fair play. Know your worth. But what do you reckon of all this? Do you reckon he's gearing up, or he's just teasing and squeezing?
I think it's a little bit from both columns there. I think a little bit is always, whenever I see wrestlers doing this, of just like let's just keep that conversation going, because you don't want people. I don't think people would forget about Bray Wyatt, Wyndham, whatever we're calling him. But I also think it's always good to have that ongoing conversation about you, and the speculation hasn't really died down from the moment he left WWE. But also, I think we could be getting the Robo Fiend, which I'd love to see as well.
Let me in. I'm here for it.
I don't really know a lot about the quotes that he's making there or the stuff that he's drawing, but we are always on the lookout for what's going to happen next with him. And like you say, the conversation about him even just going to AEW is interesting enough, because some people don't want him to go there. Some people think he could be the needle mover, the next thing for them. Or he could just return back to WWE, as we said with someone like a Braun Strowman. Sid said from the moment Strowman left, if he hadn't gone off to do Control Your Narrative and all the other stuff, if he just sort of sat at home and stayed in shape, there's a chance that WWE after a while goes, do you want to be the big surprise at, the Rumble or something? So who knows, but we'll keep you up to date on all the developments with that. Looking ahead to WrestleMania Backlash, which now has 4 matches, I think, announced, 3 of which are rematches from WrestleMania.
It certainly is a WrestleMania Backlash.
Yes, indeed. It goes down on the 8th of May, of course, and according to Dave Meltzer, despite recent speculation, according to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE are planning on having the Universal Champ, actually all the champion,
undisputed intergalactic champion,
Roman Reigns. They are planning to have him wrestle on the show. Seems to be, if I had to guess, probably someone like Shinsuke Nakamura, which I think is sort of the ideal opponent. We all kind of know he's not dropping the title at WrestleMania Backlash. You don't need to necessarily burn through a big feud like Drew McIntyre. They've got all the big stadium shows coming up over the summer. That's where one would assume you do your Drews, you do your Cody match, for example, etc., etc. It was one of those where after WrestleMania, before anything happened, before we had the SmackDown after WrestleMania, I genuinely suggested, why not do the Brock Lesnar thing, as much as I moaned about it when it happened, where he goes, you know what, I'm the champion of everything and I've beaten everyone, so I'm going to put my feet up and have the mad fatal 5-way to determine the contender for whatever the next bloody pay-per-view, I can't remember, is after WrestleMania Backlash. They're not going in that direction. They are seemingly going to do Roman versus Shinsuke, who's got a bit of history obviously with the Bloodline, and a match for WrestleMania with the Usos. We'll get well soon, Rick Boogs. But he is going to wrestle, good, because he is the biggest star in WWE.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We're just talking facts here.
Yeah, and like Nakamura would make sense. They did the angle the other week where the Usos beat up Nakamura.
Yes.
Of course. So, yeah, that's probably
after he had a lovely cuddle with Roman.
Yeah.
I'd take getting beaten up by the Usos if I could have a cuddle with Roman.
There you go.
Give someone you like a cuddle today.
That's what you do on a Friday.
Not a crocodile.
Well, all praise to the flat.
We all saw that video of those police officers trying to arrest a croc.
Oh boy, I should retweet that for the viewers.
At Andy H. Rory on Twitter.
Don't mess with the flat FUCK. Right, I got an update on Kenny Omega. He's been gone a while now. Since November. Is that the song? I've been gone since November.
Gone till November.
Oh, god damn it. Screw you, Kenny. Just joking. But he was goosed when he left, obviously. He
was a goose. Oh, no, sorry.
He was like Untitled Goose Game, stealing your glasses. Are you okay?
They're doing the... That's what he needs to do when he comes back. So sorry. Have you been really professional whilst I've been away?
No, absolutely
good.
not.
Good.
Never make the mistake of mistaking me for... Okay, I could do without that, admittedly. But Kenny Omega, he was goosed, right? He had knee issues, shoulder issues, vertigo, a hernia, bad stuff across the board. He's been working hurt for a long time, taking time off, getting various surgeries. When's he going to be back is the big question. Forbidden Door, obviously, you look at that and go, well, he was big in New Japan. You'd want him back for that. It'd be nice. He's probably not going to be back for Double or Nothing, which is before Forbidden Door, of course. 29th of May, probably going to go down without Kenneth. Dave Meltzer speaking about it on Wrestling Observer Radio. Specifics on Kenny's condition are a little bit thin on the ground at the moment, but probably not making that pay-per-view. Maybe then Forbidden Door will be a bit more realistic, but it's only 4 weeks after Double or Nothing, so it's going to be tight either way. Kenny said back in March that he still had a bunch of work to be done. A couple of surgeries that came with a 2-month recovery period at minimum. So this is going to go right down the line for Forbidden Door, but for Double or Nothing, don't bet on it.
I'm mixed on this one because I really want to see Kenny Omega back in AEW. He's, I never would wish anyone to go away, and by God did he need it by the litany of injuries that he was carrying. But I would love to see him back, and like you say, it's a perfect show for him to be back at. Or maybe, I'd probably guess, if someone said, what do you think is going to happen right now, he may return on that show, but maybe not wrestle, but potentially. Because it's a perfect crowd for him to return in to get the biggest papa that he could get. But at the same time, like you say, when you hear the reports like him wrestling these great matches whilst having bloody vertigo, it's insane. So I really want Kenny Omega, when he comes back, to be 100%, because we've seen before when people come back. I'm not suggesting he'll be, a shadow of himself. He's always performed despite his injuries. I just want him to be fully healed. So just because they've announced this show, I don't think he should rush his recovery. And this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment, I don't think they need him to come back just yet. They're doing so well, and the excitement around, Punk Page, for example, is.
Take your time, Kenny.
Yeah, come back when you're good and ready. We'd love to see you back for the New Japan show, but if you still can't stand up without getting your head rush or whatever, then probably take your time to recover.
Take it easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Clint Veazey.
Exactly. Knew you were going to say that. Final story today concerns Pat McAfee.
To the legend.
Yes, from one of the stars of WrestleMania, one of WWE's potential biggest stars, in my opinion, in the next few years, Pat McAfee. He's now apparently held talks with Amazon regarding a role for their NFL coverage. This was reported by the New York Post's Ryan Glasspiegel, who said that, yes, according to the Amazon's Thursday night football coverage, he could well be taking part in that. They've just signed an 11-year deal. I say just. It was last year, March 2021. I have no idea what time it is anymore.
$1 billion a year, apparently, as well.
There's also talks about Amazon hosting his show, which goes out on Sirius XFM. I was about to say that. That's an old radio station. Sirius XM and YouTube. He's a sought-after commodity, and it's understandable to see why, Andy.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, he was a punter in the NFL before doing the wrestling stuff. That's
the word punter's funny.
Punter. He kicked the ball really hard and really accurate. Yes. No idea how this would impact his WWE work. Obviously,
I think he's going to be a world champion one day. I genuinely think. But you see the reaction he got at Mania.
He's over as hell. I wouldn't rule it out. But yeah, obviously we are idiots and we know nothing about the football. So
don't say it. We've met someone out in America and they were happy.
I love the Baltimore Bastards.
Ravens, I think they are.
Bastards. It's like the
Go Carts.
San Francisco
That's my team.
69ers.
Go Carts.
Los Angeles losers. They suck.
Hamflet had the best idea with all this.
No,
Give Pat McAfee the Money in the Bank briefcase and have him carry it everywhere. Because if he was on NFL coverage with the Money in the Bank briefcase, it's more exposure, isn't it?
He would absolutely do that while wearing a pair of shorts as well.
Top boy. Do you know I hated him when I first saw him? I was like, who's this arsehole?
See, I think I can't stand his commentary.
I love it.
But his wrestling rules.
Get him and the guy, who's the former Bellator commentator? I've already forgotten. Mauro Ranallo. Him and Pat, commentary team.
No.
Let's have it. Let's go all in, boys.
You need earplugs.
Right, let's go. Speaking of annoying, let's get on to the Twitter questions.
Right, no disrespect to those guys. They're very talented. But
I love them.
It's not for me.
It's 50-50 split.
Yeah, there you go. Like WWE's booking. Twitter questions, right? You know what we do on a Friday. We just, I explicitly ask for dumb stuff.
Yeah.
If you ask me a serious question that's really good, I'm sorry, I'm not going to ask it.
It's why I only work Fridays now.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
And it's why we have like a robot alligator in the background, right?
Robo Fiend.
That's not for Robo Fiend.
Anyone but you, Roman. Sorry, Twitter questions.
I mean, they're not exactly highbrow either. The first one comes from Gillian Borum, who asks the following. Do you think that the universe is just one infinitely giant flat fuck, and we're all just sitting on his burly back? And look what they've done here. They've put the emoji of the gator with the planet below it.
Fantastic
Is
work.
this like, what's that sci-fi thing that has like a turtle that holds up the world?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Discworld or something? I'm not sure.
You might be right, actually, there.
Encyclopedia Britannica, something like that. What do you reckon of this? Far be it for me to feed into various AJ Styles theories, but like the flat FUCK is omnipresent. I will say that.
But why is it blue?
He's always with us. He's not blue. He's green.
Sorry, good point.
He's not
I think anything's possible, and I believe that when they flew into space, use the fisheye lens, man. Come on, think about it.
Did you know the sun is a lamp?
The sun.
I tell you what, I'm going to Florida in June. I cannot wait to see some flat.
You better get a selfie with a gator every day you're out there.
Me and a gator going, hey, before it bites my hand
before
off.
it flicks your sunglasses off with its tail. Boom!
Don't mess.
Yes, I think so. What was her name? Gillian. I think
Gillian.
You're right.
Shout out to Gillian. You know, if you go to Florida, sometimes you see a alligator just sitting at the side of the road. They just don't care. It's wild out there, man.
They have to make sure you don't jaywalk.
This is
they
it.
do.
They flat up to you and go.
And they can't get run over, of course, because they're flat.
Because they're flat, yeah, exactly. It's like a speed bump. Our next question comes from Reese Macy. Don't run over alligators, that's bad.
No, God no.
Reese asks, of course, we have some Fiend questions.
Naturally.
Literally, I do these threads and like 75% are about the
Fiend croc.
I love what we've created here. It's a wonderful community. Reese asks, with the Fiend teasing a new sex Hoover gimmick.
What? Oh, I didn't notice that, but it's a good point.
Yeah. Who would win in a fight? 100 duck-sized pamphlets or 2 horse-sized Sidgwick mega fans / Matt Reigns?
I didn't go the way I thought it was going to go.
Hamflet is soft as Charmin, so the answer is the
He looks. What was the phrase that they look like Tarzan, but they hit like Jane?
Yeah.
He looks like Walter, but he hits like Walter from the Bash Street.
Yeah.
Sidgwick. I was going to say Sidgwick, but Sidgwick was an option there. But Matt Reigns is a very much a stand for Sidgwick. He will, and he hates Hamflet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go. What size were they? 2.
The Hamflets were duck-sized.
Easy.
It's simple, man. It's like kicking a football.
Yeah.
Or 2 horse-sized Matt Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
Sidgwick mega fans.
Yeah. 2 Sidgwick mega fans.
Anything imbued with the spirit of Sidgwick.
Fury. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, that one.
He'd beat the Fiend. I reckon he's the only guy who could beat the Fiend. He's Goldberg. Right, so our final question today comes from JoJo.
She married to the Fiend?
The singer, no. I don't think it's pop singer JoJo.
Okay.
But shout-outs to Leave, get out.
Yeah, right now.
Right now, it's too late for you and me. Yep. Good singing.
We
JoJo.
just go back to do WhatCulture karaoke. It's been too long now. It's been a few months after the Christmas party.
Oh God, it's not been long enough. Michael Hamlet almost getting us thrown out, so that was good. Don't ask about that. Asks, we've got a multiple choice here.
Good.
So your life is on the line, and you were given 3 ways to save it. Right? A, you have to drink a gallon of Shane McMahon's sweat. Good grief. B, you get dragged backstage, like on Raw, when Val Venus had his pee-pee choppy,
Yes,
you know the angle,
we all
castrated by Kai and Tai is the verbiage here. Or you have to dress up like the Fiend for the rest of your life, and the only words you can say are "Let me in." What you think?
Can you say them in different orders? Can you say like me in let, or do you have to say it in that order?
I think it has to be let me in.
Do you know what I'm going to go with? Because I'm not drinking Shane McMahon's sweat, and I'm not bloody dressing like the Fiend. I'm going choppy pee pee.
You're getting your willy.
But I don't think it's not going to happen. Because my good friend Titus Worldwide would save me because he's just an all-round good guy. And he wouldn't even have to like attack them. He'd just talk them out of it. Because he only talk. I love him. I put him more. I want to tell him more. It's great that he does all the charity stuff.
I think he's probably quite happy.
Yeah.
Doing nice things.
What are you doing? Drinking the Shane sweat?
I'm drinking the sweat, brother. I don't want to lose my member. I don't want to be only able to say. See, the problem is the second ones here are permanent. The second two choices. Like once it's gone, it's gone, right? And also, if I have to say only 3 words for the rest of my life, well, I'm unemployed immediately.
Yes.
Can't do the news reading.
Just type. You'd have to type it as well.
Yeah. Let me in.
It's like what's the Jack Nicholson film? Shining. That's what I'm thinking.
There you are. So
all work and no play makes Jack let me in.
So drinking Shane McMahon's sweat is obviously gross, but it's temporary. And that would be okay.
Imagine when like a dog loses its nuts and it all goes and sad and mopey. Imagine that was just me on the news. And they were like, "Come on, what have you got?" And I'm like,
"Let's let me in. Let's go and drink some sweat."
Let's move on to today's and finally, and for today's and finally, it's a big day. It's a big day, Andy Murray.
It's Friday,
but it's also the 600th day of Roman Reigns' reign as world champion. So all I've got to say is, Andy Murray.
Oh God.
Acknowledge him. We the ones, baby. The bloodline for life. We the ones.
You are a mark. I respect it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And I nearly got into a fight at WrestleMania because I shouted in someone's face who said they wanted Brock Lesnar to win. We the ones. And acknowledge him the moment the bell rang.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because acknowledge him.
I like Roman Reigns a lot.
I love him. Can I be a member of the bloodline?
What else I like? Parmos.
Yeah, great. You introduced me to them. Oh, delicioso.
Shout-outs to the city of Middlesbrough.
Yes. Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories. Good to be back on the...
Is it?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, it is. Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. We're going to be previewing SmackDown and Rampage. And we've got Wrestle Culture with a hashtag Bloody Good quiz coming your way a little bit later on today. Plus, you can let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions and all the good stuff on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there, follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray
at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for honk.
And it also stands for hey. Check out the Gator video that he's going to retweet a little bit later on. You can follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilborn and send me your drawings of the Robo Fiend.
And the Croc.
Follow us all at WhatCultureW, as I said. But for now, it's been the news. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us. We will see you soon.
This was an absolute disaster.
Acknowledge him. We the ones.
He's still a mark.